Hey guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts. This is Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, October 16th, 2018. This is about as far as I've decorated my house for Halloween. Well, hubby has a couple little things that he likes to put out in the living room, some new things that we've picked up, but this is about it for the craft room this year. Oh wait, nope, I got my spider up there. I picked these little wooden decoration hangers things up at Dollar Tree. I just kind of liked them. I thought they were cute. And then I brought old Mr. Bonesy out here. I named him something last year, but I don't remember. Sir Frederick or something strange. But I like Bonesy, so he's hanging here. He glows in the dark. Okay, to show you how unmotivated I was for Halloween this year, he's hanging up here attached to a couple other quilts by clothespins. He's only going to be up for a couple weeks, right? And then down he comes. 0 trick-or-treaters come to our house. Our neighborhood has mostly been with young starter families or the older people that their kids are in high school or out of high school. We've just started to get, I think maybe we have 3 families with children. So most of the time people go to the bigger neighborhoods where there's a lot of money and they get lots of candy. In my little city here, it's mostly travel trick-or-treating. Not many people trick-or-treat in their own neighborhoods. It's kind of weird. It made it a bit hard when the children were younger and growing up. They couldn't just kind of go around the neighborhood. I had to make sure I always took Halloween off from work because we were a one-car family, and that way we could take the kids somewhere to go trick-or-treating, to the mini golf course. Mike Greenwell's always has a nice little thing where you can go through each of the 18 holes of the mini golf and you get candy and stuff, so that's always nice for the kids. Some of you may have already seen that I was generously giving a new sewing machine recently. If you go ahead and look through my YouTube videos a couple days ago, I posted up an unboxing video of the new Juki sewing machine I received. I'll show you the first project I worked on with that machine in just a few minutes. The only other excitement in the household recently is my dog Susie and I. She's going to be 12 in January. We went and took a little walk to the end of the road, which is 4 houses down. We're pretty far to this end. And we decided I wanted to go see what it looked like where they dug up the main road and see how far they were going and getting ready to open it up or not, because it's a straight shot to my kid's house that way, about 5 miles. And Susie, she just loves to go for a little stroll. She's kind of an old dog, getting a little arthritic, kind of a little bit chubby, you know, just like everyone else in the house. And that's about a good distance for her. We don't do too much during the summer because it's too hot and humid to take her out. She's panting right away. She's a black dog, so it's hard on her. So we were out there bright and early in the morning, get to the end of the road. I've got her on her leash, just like a responsible dog owner does. And can you tell where I'm going with the story? Yeah, 2 English bulldogs came and charged us. And the owner was just at the house right across, you know, not a very far distance. We were basically in a field, even though it was dirt, and then there's the road and his house. And he's just standing out there watching these dogs charge us. I'm spinning in circles. I'm not sure. I don't want to get in between the dogs and get attacked, but I want to protect my dog, and I don't walk with a stick or anything because, I mean, basically in a suburban city type situation, and there's never anybody out on these streets. I know when people walk their dogs and what times, and with the roads tore up, nobody's been walking them. So yeah, so these 2 off-leash dogs came and charged us, and I'm trying to keep my dog safe and not get attacked, and he's just like, just strolling slow as can be. I'm like, dude, come get your dog, you know? Ugh, it's frustrating. Eventually Susie just kept spinning around me, and we don't keep her collar super tight. She just has that shape of a head and the neck. She's almost like, think of like a Doberman's head shape. So it's kind of like a little bit bigger, but about that basic skinny shape. She doesn't have that big part right where her ears are, so collars slip on and off easy. It's usually not a problem, but she knows how to duck her head and pull the collar off. If she kind of ducks her head and pulls the leash, the collar comes right off. So he was going after her, and I'm not sure if I think he kind of just nipped at her right in the shoulder area on her front leg, and she ducked down, pulled her collar off, and ran home. I had to call hubby because it was before 8 o'clock in the morning. He was still sleeping, to open the door and let her in and watch out for the other dog because he went chasing after her. And the dude, he's still like, duh, 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 duh. And I'm, you know, politely saying some things that shouldn't be repeated on YouTube. And, you know, I'm waving my leash. I'm like, dude, there's a leash law here for a reason. And he never called his dogs off. He's like, Max, Max. And I try, you know, go home, go home. They don't listen. So now, next time I take her for a walk, I'm going to have to carry a big stick. She's a little bit sore, and she has one of those, if you've ever seen, when dogs get older, they kind of get that scaly, funky patch on their elbows and knees and stuff like that. Well, she has one of those, and he hit right on there, and I think he scratched it enough. It bled yesterday, and she's a bit sore, but I cleaned her all up, and it doesn't look like there's an actual issue, but we're going to keep a really close eye on her, and of course take her up to the vet if there's ever a inkling of a problem. But right now she's just kind of like pitiful. I took a bandage, and she's one of those dogs that just loves to lick. She's a licker. And so I wrapped her up in a bandage, got it all nice and clean, and then I took an old sock and I put it up on her arm, and she just kept going like this, going, "Oh, poor me, I'm so wounded, look at me." And she'd look at the sock and she'd show Daddy, and you know, it was just hysterical. But poor baby. So beyond all those lovely stories, what did I work on this week? You have seen this quilt numerous times already, but it is finished and it is ready to, it's gone through the wash. It's ready to be decided whether I'm going to keep it, put it in the shop, or give it away. I haven't decided yet. It's probably going to go in the shop. But I love the way this turned out, and I'm going to make more of these, but I think I'm going to definitely do it in, I have a lot of string blocks already made, so I'll probably just go ahead and keep adding to those and make a string block version, because even with the string blocks, you're going to get those center diamonds. Yeah, I believe you get those center diamonds still, or squares, however you want to call it. But I put the binding on it, and I put it on with my old sewing machine, so when we come up closer, I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. I like it. I'm not sure how I feel exactly about the process of this version of Quilt As You Go, where you just do the fabric on the batting and then you put a full backing on it and then just quilt on the seams. I'll go into it a little bit more tomorrow if anyone wants to hear all my thoughts on it. But let's just say I'm not a big fan of this process. It works, but I'm going to try something different first to see if this is the best version of Quilt As You Go. One last look. Scrappy backing. Come on a little closer and I'll show you my other project. So here's my Quilt As You Go scrappy herringbones. You've seen the front, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the binding. I did go ahead and machine stitch it down, and I used a little stitch that has like the heartbeats when you have the heart monitor checked. I gave it a nice little wrinkle here. It puts that straight stitch and then just goes like this. It's kind of like the buttonhole, but maybe it's called an open buttonhole. I don't know. I always call it the heartbeat. There you go. I always call it the heartbeat stitch. And here's the back. Now the back's not bad, but it does give you, since it would probably be a lot better if they were squares, but since it's a rectangle, you do have this part here that's kind of loose. So the quilts, the blocks are 6 inches apart, so basically you're going to have a 6 by 12 area that really just doesn't have that extra quilting through there. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I just used all the different fabrics from inside. I grabbed a bunch. I still wanted to use up a lot more of this buttonhole that I had left, and then I just added some more fun bright colors in there just to make everything kind of match up a little bit and give it a little bit of fun. I wasn't sure. I wanted to put a blue binding all the way around it, but since I didn't have blue, I just went ahead and went with the scrappy. So that came out okay. Yeah, you see how you end up a little bit with this, even though if you pin it really well, you still end up with some of these wrinkles like that. And like I said, it's fine, but it's just kind of But the project that I worked on that I had a lot of fun with was I started to do wonky long I started making some wonky log cabins. I had a hard time saying that. And I used this monster fat quarter pack that I had that I picked up at Walmart years ago. So with this wonky version, I did it where you can wonk each round as you're going, not make a block and twist it. I like that version too, and I'll probably make some more like that. But for now, this is the way I made it. I decided to use these trees in the center so that I had it going up and down. And I ended up making a bunch of these blocks. So this was a lot of fun. I went ahead and I ordered some, I'm hoping I got some lime green fabric from Joann's so that I can add the sashing and the borders. And then I ordered some batting also because everything seems to be on sale right now. And I should be able to get this quilt done. Well, based on when the fabric shows up, I should be able to get it done in about a week or so. Other than working on this project, I also have an order for 5 memory bears made out of some Scooby-Doo fabric, some jammies and stuff. You know that I was making, I'm going to use the same pattern that I used when I was making the rare bears. And when I said that I'm not happy making this pattern anymore and I don't want to ever make anymore, and there's Murphy's Law, now I have an order for 5 more of those. So I'm going to go ahead and make those up. It's no problem. It's a definite 5, and then, you know, it's like a set number. You're making 5 and then you're done. Then you don't have to worry about making any more. Okay, guys, till next week. Have fun. Bye.